everyone, and welcome to Little Sprout Storytime here at Clark County Public Library. I'm Miss Alissa, and this is our preschool story time for ages about 3 to 5. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about probably one of your favorite topics. We're talking about ourselves and being confident in who we are. Because, well, you know yourself, and you like being yourself, and you should be yourself, pretty much. So, our stories today are being read with permission from HarperCollins and Henry Holt & Company, an imprint of Macmillan Publishing. So, let's get started. Our first story is called I Am Perfectly Designed by Karamo Brown, with Jason Rachel Brown and illustrated by Anusha Syed, and published by Henry Holt & Company, an imprint of Macmillan. So do you guys know what design means? Well, when you say that you design something, it means that you're making something, but you make a plan for it before you make it. So if you say something is perfectly designed, which means that you planned it just right and then you made it just right. So, I am perfectly designed. By Karamo Brown and Jason Rachel Brown. First, there was you, Dad, and then there was me. And now, there is us. That's right, now there is us. When you first saw me, you said, "He is perfectly designed from his head to his toes." And I meant every word. Still do. When I was a baby, I looked just like you. Only I had no hair and you had lots. Now, it's the opposite. So true. The first thing I remember is being carried on your shoulders while you walked me all over the city. Remember that? I had such a big baby head. Indeed, but your big baby head was perfectly designed for you. When I was real little, I thought you could touch the moon. Remember that? We'd sit on the roof and reach for it. One day, you'll be big enough to reach it yourself. But until then, it's perfectly fine to ask for help. Remember when we went as syrup and waffles for Halloween, Dad? I do. That was awesome. I wonder what will be this year. When I run in the park, jump in the park, climb trees in the park, and pretend that I'm a statue in the park, you remind me I am perfectly designed to explore the world. You are, and you always will be. Sometimes, Dad, when I get mad, or sad, or confused, you wrap me in your arms. I like that. Me too. And I remind you that you are perfectly designed and wonderful, no matter what you're feeling. Dad, when I grow up and leave home, will you miss me? Will you go into my room and play with my race cars and stuffed animals? You know I will. Will you sit on the fire escape and feed the pigeons like we do in the summer? The pigeons and the sparrows. Will you remember our favorite moves? I will, and I'll invent some new ones too. Dad, will you always think of me? Always. You know what, Dad? What? I will always remember walking through the city and sitting on your shoulders, and maybe when you're older and I'm taller, I can carry you on mine. because we are perfectly designed for each other. That's right. The end. So that's just one thing to remember. No matter what, you were meant to be you. Which, of course, is awesome because naturally, you are probably like the most awesome person in the world, right? And of course, sometimes there's various things that you like to do, but they can be hard, which is what we talk about in this story by Lori Hernandez. She's Got This, with pictures by Nina Mata, and published by HarperCollins. She's Got This by Lori Hernandez, and pictures by Nina Mata. Every day before school, Zoe watched the birds perched in the tree outside her bedroom window. She loved the way they hopped and bounced on the branches. She loved the way they flew. As she ate her morning cereal, something on TV caught Zoe's eye. A gymnast was dancing along a beam, flipping and spinning and landing with her arms out. Flying! For real! Zoe wanted to do that too. Her dad took her shopping for a leotard. Her mom drove her to her first gymnastics class. Zoe loved stretching and tumbling and swinging on the bars, but her favorite thing of all was the balance beam. She learned to turn and to jump light as a bird on a branch. Other kids in class wobbled. Not Zoe. Soon, Zoe was ready to fly, just like the gymnast on TV. She stood on the end of the beam and gripped it with her toes. She lifted her arms, then she leaped. For a moment, Zoe flew. Then she hit the mat with a thump. Ooh. Zoe's knee hurt, her shoulder hurt, her head hurt. Inside, her heart hurt too. Oh. That can't be a good feeling, can it? When you try something and you believe in yourself, but then you fall down and you fail. Ugh. That night, Zoe told her parents she didn't want to go back to gymnastics class. Because you fell? Her dad asked. When you were learning to walk, you'd fall down and get right back up. But Zoe didn't remember learning to walk. She did remember hitting the mat with a thump. One time I fell running a race, her older brother said. Then I picked myself up. You can't let a fall make you quit. But Zoe's brother was big, and she was little. I fall all the time in karate, her older sister told Zoe. That's part of what we do. Learn to fall without getting hurt. But falling had hurt. Zoe didn't want to fall again. Let's go out, Zoe's mom said. Go out, asked her dad. Why? To celebrate, said her mom. Celebration meant ice cream, with hot fudge and sprinkles. What are we celebrating? Asked Zoe's brother. Zoe's first fall, said Zoe's mom. It's good news. How is falling good news? What do you think? Each fall makes you better, Zoe's mom told her. Now you have to try again. Maybe you'll fall, but maybe not. You won't know unless you try. A tiny bird soared over Zoe's head. The next week, Zoe went back to gymnastics. She did somersaults and cartwheels. She turned flips, and she danced along the beam. Sometimes she fell off, but every time she did, she got right back on. several weeks, Zoe's class put on a show for all the families. When it was Zoe's turn, she hopped up onto the beam. She paused and lifted her arms and her chin. Her parents smiled and her brothers and sister cheered. Her coach nodded. Zoe breathed deeply. In a moment, she would jump into the air. She didn't know if she would fall or if she would land safely, but she knew one thing. She was ready to fly. The end. So sometimes when you really believe that you can do something and you feel that can hurt, but you've got to try again. All right. Now, ready for a song? Okay. Remember when we made shakers? Well, this is I Can Shake My Shaker Egg by Eric Lidwin. And it's true, if you're doing this inside, don't be running around because that's not safe, even though it says run. But maybe just walk quickly. Okay?
I can shake my shaker egg, shaker egg, shaker egg. I can shake my shaker egg and sneak around the room. I can shake my shaker egg, shaker egg, shaker egg. I can shake my shaker egg and sneak around the room.
Alright, we're sneaking. Gotta go a little bit faster.
I can shake my shaker egg, shaker egg, shaker egg. I can shake my shaker egg and walk around the room. I can shake my shaker egg, shaker egg, shaker egg. I can shake my shaker egg and walk around the room. I can shake my shaker egg, shaker egg, shaker egg. I can shake my shaker egg and run around the room. I can shake my shaker egg, shaker egg, shaker egg. I can shake my shaker egg and run around the room. Shaker egg, shaker egg, shaker egg. I can shake my shaker egg and run around the room. I can shake my shaker egg, shaker egg, shaker egg. I can shake my shaker egg and run around the room.
Alright. Good job, everyone. Alright, so for this week's craft, ask your big person to either draw or maybe print out an outline of a person, and I want you to make yourself. And while you're doing that, I want you to think about all the things that make you you, the things that you like doing, the things that you do all day, and I want you to feel good about yourself, okay? All right, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.